We want to be able to use Logger Pro to analyze kinematics, like me taking off. So we open up Logger Pro and start a new project. Then I need to import my video, so I insert movie and find the movie on my desktop, Pete Running. Okay, so now I have my movie. Let's open this up full screen. Now this is taken from a cell phone, so it's about 30 frames a second. So there's very many frames, more than I care to collect data from individually. So I go to Options, Movie Options. So I'll only have 10 bits of information per second. And so I'm going to advance the movie 3 frames after adding each new point. Let's go back to the beginning. Clicking this icon opens up the menu on the right. And click this icon in the upper right. And this allows me to pick a point on my body for Logger Pro to measure the position of. And so maybe I pick the center of my shoulder here. And it advances to the next one. It's moved forward just a little bit more. And then I follow it every 1/10 of a second. Now we can see that Logger Pro has recorded displacement as a function of time, but it needs a scale to know how big this distance is. And so I go up to this little icon that looks like a ruler, and I take something I know the length of. I actually measured this. It is 118 centimeters from the top to the bottom of the blackboard. And so I can write in meters, this is 1.18. And so now I have X in meters. These are the graphs that Logger Pro has made, but I'm not interested in that. Really what I want is just the data to put into Excel to do the calculations. But I'm going to take these data and copy them, and then open up Excel and insert the data right here. And so this is time in seconds, and this is position in meters. But rather than finishing at 0, I'd like to start at 0. So I'm going to calculate, let's call this zeroed position. And so I can copy this down. I start at 0, and we copy this down, and we see, oh, I'm at 0 all the time. So what I actually want to do is subtract my position each time from this first distance. So I don't want this distance to change. And so I put a $sign in there, which just says, as I move downward, this number that I'm subtracting off changes, but this number stays the same because of that $sign there. And now I can graph this position as a function of time by inserting a chart. I'm going to use an XY chart. And there it is. There's my progression as I move along in time. But this is in time. This is just this number. I want to change the x-axis to be this column here. And I do that by clicking on the chart, or right-clicking on the chart, and select data. And so this is my y value, and I want my x value to be the same. So I copy it, except I want column A. So I want to go from A3 down to A17. Now I'm good. So here's my time in seconds. I can change the chart title to now be position versus time. And I can label my axes by going to axes titles, horizontal is time in seconds. And the y-axis as position in meters. And I'll save it to my desktop.